All right, so now if you're a young person and you're trying to think of, what do I want to do? Should I go to college? Should I get a job? What do I want to do? I want to encourage you, or if you're thinking of starting a business, that's really what I like. Now, if you want to start a business, I'm going to show you some practical steps. We're going to have a quick conversation here as I'm on my way back from an appointment. And I want to talk to you about what I would do in order to start your own business. How do you start your own business? How do you be your own boss? How do you be an entrepreneur? But I'm not going to be like your typical guys out there that are, you're going to do fulfillment by Amazon, and you're going to sell webinars about how to sell webinars, about how to sell webinars, about how to sell webinars. I'm sure there's people out there making tons on their sales funnel, but where I see all of the opportunity right now I'm in Minneapolis, St. Paul area, and I know that this is replicated across the United States right now. There is one sector that if you go into, you will make gobs of money. You will be able to profit and get as much business as you possibly can. It's not always the easiest work out there, but it's doggone sure work in a way. Now, part of it's because the economy's up, and there's other opportunities in tech. Here I am, a digital marketer. I think digital marketing is great. I think accounting and bookkeeping, any technical skill that you can get is great. Go out and find out how to solve hard freaking problems. Learn to solve hard problems. Get good self-awareness, train yourself how to do things, train yourself how to work well with people, and execute well. In life, all things come down to, I think, two parts. How do you relate to people, and how do you get things done? How do you relate to people, and how do you get things done? Those are two. You could bucket most of life, short of your relationship with God, which I'm a Jesus follower. I'm a sinner, and I need help, and He saves me. And but moving on from that, those two things. Do I sound Minnesotan enough? Two things. How do you relate to people? Are you humble? Are you fun to work with? Are you brash? How's your self-awareness? How's your emotional intelligence? How do you relate to people? And how do you get things done? Are you reliable? Do you execute? Do you have competencies? Do you follow through? Do you finish projects on time? Can you be on time? Are you early? Do you exceed expectations in your production levels? How you get work done. So remember that those are two things that you should frame up. How do I work with people, and how do I get things done? And early in your life, you're always going to have to look at it as, how do I do these things, right? And then eventually, as you move up, you'll be, how do I lead as an example? Or how do I even encourage and manage other people so that you're helping lead a team or helping others accomplish things better, right? So if you and the people around you can all be on the same vision, heading in the same direction, and you can help deploy those resources. You have management and leadership. Leadership is getting people to want to move in a direction, and management is using other resources and people to accomplish something, right? You eventually get to that point. Hopefully you can be that way. You have to earn credibility in that. Usually you got to get credibility by just executing. That's something that I didn't do very well in some of my other careers. But over the last 7 years, that's what I've been doing, is executing, doing things. And now what's been interesting is this channel has gotten some fun traction. You know, not every video gets tons of likes or not lots of views, but a bunch of them do. And my goal is to help out entrepreneurs. So here's the deal, folks. If you want to move upward and forward, there's one industry, and that industry is the trades, okay? If you were to either go to a technical college and learn how to do construction or do the trades, whether that's electrician, so there's the official trades that you would go through a union, right? That could be pipe fitting, welding, electrician, plumber. You can get into concrete, you can get into framing, you can get into like all the contractor work, right? You can get into masonry, tiling, flooring, cabinetry, custom cabinetry, woodworking, all of that, HVAC, anything that entropy is working against, right? You could get into the asphalt business. If you get into those fields right now, here's what I want you to know. Most people stop and think, boy, if I go do that, I got to wake up at the butt crack of dawn, right? Be there, work my butt off, out in the cold if you're in Minneapolis, and then I got to come home and boy, I'm just going to want to put my feet up. That may be true. That's one side of the business, and I think that that's an attractive thing. As a 38-year-old who's, I'm coming up on 40, there's value to getting out and about in your life having interesting work, being able to get tired throughout the day, burn some calories while you're doing stuff, and get to tinker around with cool, meaningful projects, right? I know that all of my customers that are in the construction field, even if they run machinery, maybe you can run an excavator, maybe you learn how to do all sorts of stuff, but getting in the construction or the trades or anything that entropy, so, HVAC breaks down, refrigerants break down, housing breaks down, people upgrade. The reason why I'm saying this is because each one of these businesses will tell you that it is nearly impossible right now to find good people. They're all hiring. Now, some of it's that they have seasonal work, and you got to watch out for that, right? You can get paid $100 an hour to do masonry work throughout the summer, but you work your butt off all summer or as soon as it's warm enough to do external stonework and chimneys, and then come winter you get laid off, right? Well, yeah, you made $100 an hour for 6 months out of the year, and the rest you do something else, and that's where a lot of guys, they do that, and they're taking trips to Montana to snowmobile and to enjoy their winters, and there's value to that. But on the other side, if you get involved in these industries, so I'm not saying all of you need to go out and do these trades. I think you can. If I was 14 years old right now, 13 years old, coming into high school, I would absolutely try and go learn these trades, because even if I didn't go out and be an electrician, which I would recommend it, man, go be an electrician. You will have work that you like. It's interesting. It keeps you moving. You can be out and about, and you earn a ton of money. And there's more demand than you could possibly know. Go call the union and get involved with union training. Go be an apprentice somewhere. But even if you don't do that work, if you simply know that world, and if you were to rewind, maybe go to trade school and learn that stuff. And meanwhile, go work part-time in a construction business. Go work part-time in an electrician shop or something like that, where you're learning about the technical side a little bit, but then you're also in the business to see how the business runs. What you'll find is that you will, if you pursue continuous growth and you become a learner, and if you work on how do you understand the business, how can you be a good manager, how do you help develop and understand what's valuable to the customer, what you'll find is that you could be in position to have some amazing careers, like digital marketing. You could be a digital marketer, you could be a writer, you can be a salesperson, you could be a manager, you could be an administrator, you could be there are so many other jobs within construction companies where if you understand the niche just a little bit, if you understand how to do it, and you can be a good salesperson or a good leader, a good manager, an office, a writer, a marketer, a photographer, a videographer, boy, you get to mix this niche knowledge with your core competency that you can understand. You will find so much opportunity. So maybe, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I don't know that you can argue right now that a college education is a great ROI. I'll do another video on that about why I think it's a terrible ROI. In short, there's two things to count. One is the inflated cost of higher education, and the second is the opportunity cost of not working, right? So if you take 4 years, and if you're not making $30,000, that's 30, 60, 90, 120 grand in revenue that you're missing by not earning 30 grand a year for 4 years. Plus, now you have to pay maybe 30 grand a year. So basically, if you look at it, if the opportunity cost is 30 grand and it's costing you 30 grand, that's $60,000 for 4 years. That's $240,000 of basic cost. If you weigh out where your earnings can go in the future, pursuing the trades versus working at Target or working in a big corporation with a college education, what are you gonna make, $120,000, right? Maybe. You know, how long does it, when is the payoff? How long do you break even in that $240,000 of opportunity cost plus actual costs, besides the time cost of money and not having that money now? You start playing the movie forward that there's certainly some degrees that make a lot of sense. College has value to it, but I think going to school for 4 years and just being a dinghy, drinking and partying and not just sticking to your stuff, you should be working, earning money while you're in college, That's what I would highly recommend. Otherwise, you're going to be screwed. Anyways, that could be an option for some people. You could go to school, but I think there's a huge opportunity cost. Plus, now what we've got is a glut of supply in terms of labor for liberal arts degrees. So people that don't have actual science skills or actual trade skills, again, if you just look at where the payrolls are going, I think that there's a huge demand for construction, huge demand for the trades, even in an economy that downturns. Maybe they prune off, and all of a sudden, because of these new policies coming up under the new administration, maybe we see a decline in construction. No matter what, things break down and they need to get fixed. Air conditionings and furnaces break, they need to be fixed. Stuff gets built over time, no matter what. And you will have job security if you're an electrician, a plumber, a concrete, whatever it is that you get involved in. Or if you're in the ancillary side of those businesses, there's almost always opportunity. And just so again, you have entropy working in your favor where things are breaking down. But there's a glut of liberal arts degrees where everybody's trying to get the same jobs, chasing the same things. You're in high demand if you know the trades, or if you have a trades perspective, or if you understand construction. So anyways, I think that that's worth looking at. So what would I actually do? Maybe you go get a degree at a trade school. Then maybe what you do is get a job in a construction business or a business around those trades. It's not that you have to go be an electrician. Maybe you go work for an electrician as an administrator, maybe as a salesperson, maybe as a marketer. The bigger, medium-sized shops have all sorts of different jobs that you can have. Besides that, maybe what you do is you get some training from LinkedIn Learning. Maybe you do some online training to understand those. Start reading the books to understand the actual niche. And then the second side is you could start to develop your core competency of maybe you're a writer, a leader, a manager, whatever that is, a salesperson. That's where I think a lot of opportunity is. Folks, I'd love to know what you think. Tell me in the comments below, but I think there's gobs of opportunity for people if you get involved in the trades right now. But you got to be working and heading upward and forward. It's all about continuous improvement in your life. Good luck. God bless.